This is my first time in India in 20 years, but 2 years ago, I was featured in Rolling Stone India. This is how it happened. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Spitty. I know, an Indian man hasn't been to India in 20 years. What's wrong with me, right? But we here now, live and direct. In 2021, I was prepping to drop my debut album, Full Circle. And one thing about me is like, anytime I see someone else kind of doing something, I try to learn what they do and utilize that, you feel me? Like anytime I see somebody get a blog placement or like a playlist or they get onto some Instagram page, I be trying to just check like, yo, how did they get that? Who wrote the article? Who do they tap in with? And can I tap in with them too, you feel me? And so maybe like 2020, 2021, I seen one of my boys, they got featured in Rolling Stone India, and I'm like, that's crazy, because before that I didn't even know Rolling Stone India existed, you feel me? And so I seen that and I tapped in, and all I did is I looked at who wrote the article. You know, that's a simple tip you can use, is check out who wrote the article for the blogs, the websites that you want to be on. Because if you try to DM like Rolling Stone India, the social media page, that's gonna lead nowhere. Why? Actually, I wouldn't say it's gonna lead nowhere, but it's a different department running the social media, you get me? That's like marketing, social media, versus the people who are actually the editors writing the actual content on the website. So I saw this man Anurag and he wrote the article. So what do I do? Of course, I follow him wherever I can, Instagram, Twitter, you know, just try to stay in contact, stay in touch, and be like, yo, now you see my face. Slowly, I'm not gonna like try to pitch something at you directly. That's the worst thing you could do, I think. So all I did was like tap in, you know, let that simmer for a bit. You gotta let it simmer for a bit before you try to just start pitching things, you know. And so that was probably like 2020 or like early 2021. And then, you know, I'm trying to build up these contact lists, like who am I gonna send my album to before it drops, right? That's something you wanna do for sure too, is don't send out your album or your single after it drops. Like, it's out. Mans could have found it themselves, like a regular fan, you feel me? People want to give you that publicity, but it has to be a relationship. What's the point of them writing an article after it's already out? Like, not to say that that's not gonna happen, but like, there's a bit of exclusivity if you can get them that information, that song, that album, whatever, before it's out, because then they can prep for it, they can release it before it's out, right when it's out, you know, like it's fresh, they're ready, they can be the ones to premiere your album or song or whatever. So that's what I did, is before the album dropped, sent it his way. A couple weeks, maybe 2-3 weeks went by, the album dropped. The album was doing well, man. 24 was already going crazy. That song came out as a first single like a month before. The Dice music video dropped like a few days after the album dropped. People were loving that. And then boom, like a week or two after the album drops, nobody even hit me up. I legit just saw it because I was tagged on Twitter. Like, I legit just saw it on Twitter, Rolling Stone India. It was in an article of a bunch of other projects, and there was actually a write-up. Like, you could actually tell the author listened to the project, took in what I was saying, took in the message, the themes, the sampling, the instrumentation, all that, and kind of mixed it all together, wrote me a dope article. And who was it? Of course, it was Anurag. And the crazy thing is even though I tweeted at him, I don't know it was gonna go up, and all of a sudden it's just up. So it's like, people operate in their own ways, but the key is shoot your shot, you feel me? Shoot your shot in a respectable way, in a way that feels like you're actually a professional, you're actually pitching something that's real, and you're not just trying to grab for attention, you feel me? And Rolling Stone wasn't like the only site I pitched. I pitched to a lot of blogs, local blogs in Canada, Toronto, from America, from the UK, everywhere, right? Just so happened that was the one that clicked for me, so that was a blessing for sure. And then this year, 2 years later, this time, you know, after Full Circle dropped, that was still kind of like my entry point into like being organized in the way I release songs and the strategy, and especially the pre-release strategy. That was kind of like my entry point. And then this year, 2023, I was doing a single a month, and I really said like, yo, every time I want to make sure that I give each song the push it deserves, you know, send it out to everybody I can before, make sure I submit it 4 weeks before to playlists and all that. And so the first single of the year was Not For Me. Turns out that's the biggest song of the year for me. That's my biggest song ever at this point. But of course, I sent that to Rolling Stone India as well. And again, no words, nobody hit me up. Boom, a few weeks later, all of a sudden I'm in a tweet, Not For Me, featured on Rolling Stone India. Like, just like that, man. It's crazy. So it's like, shoot your shot, try, do what you can. I'm from Canada. I was born in America. I've never been to no Rolling Stone America, Rolling Stone Canada. But look at my face, I'm Indian, you know? So Rolling Stone India wants to rock with me. I appreciate it heavily. So shout out Rolling Stone India, shout out Anurag, shout out all the citizens out there watching. Shout out all the artists trying to be who they want to be, you know? Right now I'm in India, we're at Bandstand, living life. Just thought I'd come here, you know, make a cool video outside instead of being in like the room, done with all the room ring light stuff, yo. Let's go be outside, let's have fun, feel me?